Chris, disappointing afternoon, difficult afternoon. What did you make?
Yeah, very difficult afternoon, but it's the top of opposition. They play a very direct style and they do it very well. So, there are two ways you get something out of the game, and one is to be resilient right through to the end, and I think we've got to the stage that there was a couple of free kicks that they had at the edge of our box, but I think defensively I was as comfortable as what you could be in this type of game. They put you under a lot of pressure, and it's that one lapse of concentration that gives them the goal. If you can't do that, then you've got to score goals. And that's been the difficult part for us, that we haven't been able to take the pressure off ourselves. And if you're not scoring, particularly if you're not starting well and you're not taking a lead, then you're constantly putting pressure on yourself as a team. And it's got to be one of either.
What about going forward today? You mentioned not scoring goals, but not too many chances today. I don't know if that's a real criticism today particularly, or when you come here to Middlesbrough against a Neil Warnock side, maybe you don't expect to be hugely creative and make loads.
No, I think it's I think we have to take it on the chin, and I think you're always looking at your team and where the team could do better, and we needed to be better on the ball against a team that pressed really hard and played very, very direct. As I said, there's only two ways. You've either got to battle against that and make sure you're not conceding, or you've got to look for them moments and them moments of quality and them moments of guile that you can break them lines. And when you get into the final third, you've got to show quality. And at the moment we're probably not showing enough of that to get sort of these breakthroughs in games where we can take the lead. And then the game changes, against a very direct team today. Then probably they've got to take a few more chances. The game maybe opens up a little bit more, but we never allowed ourselves to be in that position.
Do you sense that's a bit of a psychological barrier at the moment, Chris? Because it's happening so often. I mean, going back to before your arrival at the club as well, the Blackburn game apart, I think it's now 12 games, a dozen games, something like that, where Forest have not scored the first goal. Does that become an issue, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I can only talk about my period of time here, and by far the best we've been as regards chances and opportunities was of course in the Rotherham game. So what we have shown is that we can create, we can get into them positions, but still we didn't score the goals. So can that be a confidence thing? Yes, and I think you can go through periods and the opposite way. You can go through periods where perhaps that improves in whichever way. A few lucky goals that break deadlocks that allow you to push forward as a team. But in whichever way, overall defensively, and I know we've conceded a real poor defensive goal today. Overall defensively, I think we've been compact as a team, and I've been happy with what I've seen. But I'll reiterate that again, is that we've got to show more in the goal, and we've got to poise a bigger threat offensively than what we are doing.
Can I ask you about one or two of your team selections today, because I think they were interesting, weren't they, given maybe what happened on Wednesday night at Luton and maybe a bit of fatigue in legs, but no Lyle Taylor today after he got through his shift on Wednesday. What was your thinking behind that one?
Just rotation. It was a very hard shift. Of course, as we know, on Wednesday night, I think maybe if it was Tuesday, you've got the extra day, and of course having to play whatever 50 odd minutes with 10 men. We've got two hard games in quick succession again and I've got to with grabbing of course out at this moment, I've got to use the squad that I've got, and Guerrero has been brought in the summer. He's a player of good ability, and I've got to use the squad.
And the same for Joe Lolly, presumably, with Wednesday in mind, well, both Wednesdays in mind, perhaps.
Yeah, I think with the games, the amount of games that we've got, and Joe's one that has done brilliant for me, and of course got through games. But I've got to be mindful that if I'm playing the same players consistently all the time, there's a capability of some breaking down. So I've got to rotate. And what I'd like to think, I mean, we came up against a Middlesbrough team that certainly made more changes than what we did today, and what it shouldn't do, if I felt that it affected the team and affected the quality of the team and the balance of the team, then I wouldn't do it. But I think when you've got a squad like we have, that that are all training hard each week, that are all pushing for positions, I've got to use the squad the best way I can.
Can I ask you about left back as well? No Nicholas Yanu today, of course, because he was suspended, and Gaetan Bong, a player you know well, who you picked maybe ahead of Yuri Ribeiro. Was that your choice?
Yes, it was just a selection choice. When I came here, Yuri, I think, had played one game this season. He's just come back from an injury. He's trained the last couple of days, so just on the balance of that, it was just my selection on where both players are at this moment.
And Gaetan, of course, hasn't played for a little while. How pleased were you with him today?
Yeah, I think he was part of a team that generally defended well. My criticisms re the team today is not so much from a defensive point of view. It's more, I say, what we showed and then moments that we showed on the ball. So yes, I think Gaetan falls into that category with everybody else. Defensively, I think as a team, generally happy with what I saw, but offensively we need to do more.
And 2 home games, as you touched on earlier, you need a reaction, don't you?
Need a reaction, and generally with this group so far in the short period of time I've been here, there have been reactions, and probably unfortunately for us, then reactions have generally been to going a goal down or having a man sent off. The reaction, it means that we've got 2 home games that we've got to try and make the most of and capitalise on.